500. That's what you're talking about. And we can't have it. And we have very weak leadership. We have incompetent leadership. We have leadership that doesn't understand that this is something that can happen. We have leadership that doesn't hear other people when they talk about it. And they don't get it. We have incompetent leaders. This would never happen. All of the things that we have, you wouldn't have inflation because energy, we had energy, very inexpensive energy. We had energy independence, soon to have energy dominance. We would have been selling to Europe. We would have been selling all over the world. We were bigger. When I left, we were number one in the world at energy. Natural gas, oil and natural gas. We were filling up the strategic reserves. Biden took the strategic reserves that I was filling up and he emptied them out now to the lowest point. Those reserves are meant for war, not to get people's gasoline prices down so they look at good in an election. But he did that. And now so many things have been wrong. Even we mentioned before the supply chain. Who ever heard of a supply chain problem? You order something and you get it. Now you order something and they tell you won't have it for years. You won't have it for years. Nobody ever heard of it before. We've become somewhat of a third world country. Our elections are third world. Sorry to tell you that.
You know, we had our friend Steve on the last podcast and he got canceled from YouTube. And if he's on camera, they'll delete our entire channel too. Oh, so they're taking it to the next level.
Yeah, but he's my friend.
It's crazy.
That is called, we don't have freedom of the press.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're the press, because, you know, the press used to be like a piece of paper. You're the press now. You and other people and other things, whether it's internet or not. I didn't know that. That's terrible.
Do you think that we're becoming like a third world country where we're going after like former leaders, like a banana republic?
Oh, absolutely. Well, that's what they do in third world countries. They go after former leaders so they can't come back. I have people investigating me over nothing, over things like the boxes hoax. And we had a DA from New York who campaigned, and an AG in New York, campaigned on, I will get Trump. But they investigate me over things that Biden has been horrible with. He's broken every law, every regulation in the book, every single regulation in the book. Nobody talks about that because it's called election interference.
Everyone sees it now, though.
They see it. Oh, they see it. Well, you know, when they announced this event, my poll numbers went up. You see my poll number. I'm beating I'm beating Biden by a lot. But what they want to do is investigate you and keep investigating. Because if I was doing badly in the polls, number one, you'd be able to put me on, but nobody would care. Maybe. But you wouldn't be canceled. But if I was doing badly in the polls, there would be no investigations. There'd be no problems. Or if I would not run, there would be no problems. Mm-hmm. Although I think in my case, in my case, they hate me so much, I think it doesn't even matter.
Another thing I want to ask too, something historic that I'm always amazed by what you did is how you got along so well with all these world leaders, especially Kim Jong-un. What was he like as like a person? Because he's like such a mysterious Batman kind of like figure. No one knows what he's like. What is Kim Jong-un?
Well, first of all, he's very smart and he's very cunning and he's very ruthless.
How so? Like what makes him so smart?
I guess genetically he was born pretty smart. Don't forget, he took over a country at 23. And even though he was sort of like, it was like an inheritance, this is a country with smart, energetic people. He, from a very early start, got it. He took it over from his father, but very young. And you had generals and you had all of these people and armies and, you know, and he gained control. And let me tell you, he is the boss of that country. But I got to know him very well. And I think we would have had nuclear war. Had Obama been able to stay or had crooked Hillary Clinton become president, you would have had a nuclear war with North Korea. Absolutely. I think you would have had. And if you remember with me, it was very rough. Little Rocket Man, and he was calling me names and I'm calling him names. And remember he said, I have a red button on my desk and it's got very big power. And I said, no, I have a much bigger button than you do. And my button works. And we went through so
how'd
much.
You guys squash that? Because Little Rocket Man, that's a big church.
So
how did
we went
he
through,
get past that?
I said, did you ever hear of the song Rocket Man when I was with him? He said, no. Did you ever hear of Elton John? No. I actually handed him the song Rocket Man, which is a pretty good song by Elton John, but he never heard, because it truly is. It's a country.
Wait, you gave him the...
I gave him, tape, and
Like a vinyl?
I didn't show that it was made in South Korea, frankly. That the recorder was, it said South Korea. I said, take that off. We had it chiseled.
With SpotMe, I can overdraft up to $200 fee-free.
Install the Chime app today.
Off. He probably figured it out. No, he's a very smart guy. And, you know, every time I say that, the fake news media goes, oh, he said he was smart. The other day I was talking with Tucker about President Xi of China.